Welcome back to the Last Week This Week podcast. I'm Ian Scott.
And I'm Zach Huber.
And this week we got a ton of nerd topics and movie and TV topics to go through with you. And Zach's going to give you the rundown.
Yeah. So Fantastic Four trailer just came out. We briefly talked about the description of it at CinemaCon, but now we get to look at it with our own eyes. So we're going to kind of dissect and kind of go through that trailer and what we thought. Also, the past week, we had a Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom leaked image, possibly the leaked image.
And it could just be a fun image.
It could be fake. We don't know. There's no confirmation yet.
Right.
The Tron Ares trailer came out. We have kind of got popular on TikTok for a quick second about talking about our thoughts on Tron back in the day. So it just feels fitting to talk about this one. Also, Ian loves Tron. And we also have Robert Pattinson is potentially going to be playing a role in Dune 3. So we'll talk about that. We have our Last of Us season 2 premiere review at the end. So stick around for that. But firstly, we're going to talk about the Daredevil Born Again finale, and probably rope in there the penultimate episode, or just the whole season in general. Kind of like just kind of talk about our thoughts about the whole thing. Now that
you all haven't heard us speak. I think on Daredevil since the first 2 episodes. And we had very differing opinions.
True. Yeah. So the last episode came out. I had thought that the episode before it was hands down my favorite episode of the entire season.
It's the only episode to me that felt like the original show this entire season. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
I mean, character-wise and story-wise, directing-wise, it just all came together.
Yeah, and it mostly focused on all the characters that I thought were particularly interesting. Like, I don't remember there being a lot of conversation with like the lawyer friend that he partnered up with. Or I will
say Heather became more of a focus in these last 2 episodes, and episode 8 for sure. I will say, like, I hate Heather now. But I'm glad I hate Heather because I felt nothing for her at one point. You know, it was just like, this is a nothing character.
Are you talking about the therapist?
Yeah. His girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Or his ex-girlfriend now, I guess.
That wasn't very clear. Yeah.
It's not clear, but I think it's like pretty, like the writing's on the wall. I don't think he's ever going to go back to her.
It just seems a little weird, you know, with the way that the last that they talked to each other was like he had taken the bullet. They're in that
hospital room scene, man, pissed me off.
Well, we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, like, so the second to last episode I thought was fantastic, actually. Like I really enjoyed that episode. I was a lot more I liked this season, I think, a lot more than Ian did, though I did think that there was a lull in quality wherever it was, like the bank heist episode, and where
5 through 7 was like the really rough episodes for this show.
Yeah, and there was just things that didn't make sense with how, like, just in the world, in the rules that they set up in the in the world, like there's just things that happen, like him seeing that it was his girlfriend's face with his hands on these drawings.
It's genuinely the worst writing of this entire season.
Like that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know, it got us to there.
It pushed us along in the story. So
I was like, you know, but it is ridiculous. Absolutely.
It's so ridiculous.
But there's a lot of good moments. I mean, particularly, I think the Kingpin side of things is really interesting. I really love Michael Gandolfini in the role that he's in the show.
Yes, he's been my favorite side character, like favorite new side character of the whole season. And then like the way in these last 2 episodes, especially, he's really cemented himself as like willing and being able to play like a manipulative bad guy. It's really wonderful to see that arc.
Yeah.
And then another character I was really happy with. Like I was a fan of hers at the beginning of the season, BB Urick, and then by the end, she finally had like real drive and purpose, and I was like, yes, this is great. I love this character now too.
Yeah, and
Like that whole scene where she was talking to the commissioner.
right.
So good. Yeah.
So it was very good.
Yeah.
And it did feel like everything that was going on with her was having effects on the story, but it wasn't as great as where it was leading to.
Right.
Which then goes into the finale, which after understanding that it's kind of half the story in a sense.
It's for sure is.
It feels like a mid-season episode.
Right, like we should be getting more episodes in like 3 months or something.
Yeah, because there isn't a lot that was resolved, and I feel like the argument like there was a lot to like in this last episode for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like an argument would be that like things weren't resolved, but maybe the resolution is like Kingpin, like maybe it's just like Kingpin is getting what he wants, and like there's resolution in his relationship with Vanessa, and like he's fully.
Oh yeah, I mean Kingpin's fully won at this point.
Yeah, and like he's fully transformed like the government of New York City
system and
into his like basically like his criminal organization,
right? And then he's got that big old plan like for Redport, I can't remember
Red Hook.
Name. Red Hook, yeah, for like that whole section to be like his like illegal, I guess, activities headquarters in a sense
that can't be touched by anything,
touched by the law, which is so wild.
So there's all that's going on, which in a sense could be seen as like his resolution for the series. And I'm not saying that I think this way, but I could see the argument. And then the argument for Matt, if you want to make it, is that he decided why he wanted to be Daredevil again. To me, like Matt
didn't have much of a resolution.
Matt hasn't had much of a resolution. I don't even really feel like he's had much of an arc.
The arc is him becoming Daredevil again, just like Fist became Kingpin again.
Right? I guess like for me, I was like, I've seen season 3. I feel like I'm just watching like a watered down version of season 3.
Sure.
In that
much
sense,
worse, version for sure.
So this idea of him like giving up Daredevil again and having to find a reason to like go back, like it was fine. Like, I don't really feel like we've gotten to like great answers as to why he thinks that, other than like, because at this point I'm like, well, why would you even want to be a lawyer anymore? Because you feel like you've given up.
Admitted
like that.
Wasn't it like episode 8 maybe, or maybe it was the beginning of episode 9? Like he says to Kirsten, he's like, what we're doing here feels so pointless.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you probably should just step away from this practice.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, well, I don't know. To me, watching this season, I was like, well, Matt's like making all these arguments against even being a lawyer. Right. And that feels in itself like it doesn't, like, I don't know. It just doesn't necessarily sit right with me. Cause I'm like, well, how are you going to so hopefully maybe in the second season, there'll be a bit of like a balance with that, but it feels like they're going like feels like they're going hardcore. Like I'm going to be a vigilante.
Well, yeah, I just don't see how Matt could possibly win as a lawyer in Kingpin's system right now. Like yes, the law still exists, but like the courts, I feel like he would also like Kingpin could also control. Like if Matt were to try and do something practice wise.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, like at some point next season, give me a reason why Matt would want to be a lawyer again.
Sure.
Because right now it feels like there hasn't been a reason for me, like that the show's given me to be like, oh yeah, he should keep being a part of, working from the inside or whatever. So
for sure.
But yeah, with regards to the finale, I thought action wise, some of the best action of the whole season.
Sure. Yeah, I think
I think
it was good. I think coming off of episode 8, I was a little underwhelmed by the finale.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because like there were so many amazing moments in episode 8 where it was like Bullseye and Daredevil like going at it, like either verbally or like fight wise or just conflict wise, and even like the gala was really amazing. That whole gala, like I don't know if you remember, even like directing wise, where like they were like kind of going across the room and like just kind of like going from one conversation to the other I was like, whoa, this is great directing. I'm not saying there wasn't that in episode 9, but
I don't want to be because it still is impressive. It was done well.
Yeah.
The only thing for me was like when they were, I know what shot you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, that one take is fine. Like
I really enjoyed the one take.
It was no, like I love a one take. It's just there was something about the extras, just like kind of not really adding anything to like these extra conversations were like kind of like, okay, and like we're moving through here, and then the actors have time to reset, and like
right.
Like it was fine. I just felt like if you're gonna do a one take, to keep it more like keep me in it more, where like when I was being around the extras just talking about nothing, I was like, I don't really give a shit about. Anyways, that was just like a small thing that I was like, I remember not loving that, but anyways.
No, but yeah, like with the action, it's like it was cool to see like, Matt and Punisher fight a bunch of like corrupt cops. Like that was very cool. But there wasn't.
I didn't expect how like violent it was gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, this season has had some really violent moments. But
this was the most violent episode. I was like, Disney, God, like
I almost feel like they're going a little overboard with it. Like I don't like when like Frank stabs somebody in the neck and like pulls out, like there's just an insane amount of blood that'll come out, and I'm like, it almost feels a little Tarantino with how much blood there is.
Yes, it is. It's giving Tarantino. Yeah,
I mean, and then especially the last moment with Kingpin this season,
that was
where he just just rips his fucking head off, and I'm like, if you're in that room, like how are you, like even if you're a corrupt person, how are you not horrified that just this man just ripped off the commissioner's head, like.
Well, I not even ripped it off. Like
just like tore it in like half or whatever you want to call it, or
just crushed it.
Yeah.
In but like two separate directions.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a look on the faces of like, oh God.
Like what are we?
I think they're gonna throw up or something.
Yeah, it's just wild.
The violence is. I liked the violence, but it was like way more extreme than like anything else so far. So
and almost like I get like
it was just
violence is in his character, right? But like I almost feel like all of these people are now witnesses to you killing the commissioner, right? Like you have to like be positive that these people wouldn't flip on you.
Well, that's what he did, right? He got rid of all the unloyals.
Yeah. I just people's hearts aren't always 100% one way or the other.
Right? Yeah. Right. But I also think that also instills fear that like, okay, well, I can't say anything about this, or else that's gonna happen to me.
I mean, the commissioner tried and he died, right? So
like the commissioner, yeah. So
yeah.
So yeah, the violence was great, but it may be a little excessive at times.
Right.
Like we called it that Karen was going to come back.
Okay, so
and that was one of the more frustrating parts of the episode.
Agreed.
Because I don't really feel like it was just like, oh hey, you're back. We're not, we don't have to talk about anything else. We're just gonna like.
I think what bothered me is that is that Karen didn't apologize. You know, like I think she owes Matt like the deepest of apologies for abandoning him again, or I guess for the first time, maybe. I don't know. I just think it wasn't addressed. Like, I don't think Matt was gonna be like, you need to apologize. But like I think it would have really helped with her arc. And now I'm still like, and yes, I get like she has feelings for Frank, and I get like a lot of people like them as kind of a ship, but I love Karen and Matt. I want to see those two together, and to see them kind of write more towards the Frank Karen side was a bit of a bummer, I'll say.
I don't really feel like they wrote towards one or the other more than the other. Like, I don't really feel like they were pushing one more than the other.
I think to me that moment where like Matt's like, yeah, I heard your heartbeats, you know, like I don't like, I guess the way I read it was that she like he was saying like she had a different reaction to Frank than to Matt, you know, like I get.
Well, yeah, but then he says, well, then she says, well, you heard mine when I saw you. And then he goes, probably just, you know, like adrenaline.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like
we'll
that's
see.
hinting at the same thing.
It could be. It could go either way, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, and
here's the thing. I can't see Karen ending up with somebody like Frank Castle.
Right. But I mean, like, and I saw an interview with Deborah Ann Wool recently, or maybe it was like at a Comic-Con kind of thing where somebody asked her a question, and she was like, I think she was kind of saying like, I could see her really ending up like with Frank, or she really loves to be in Frank's world because she can be her like complete true self around Frank, like where like Frank would get like the decisions she's made to, you know, that she's murdered, you know, somebody on purpose, you know, like the Kingpin's like right-hand man in season 1.
Right.
Her accidentally killing her brother. I think those are like things that she could talk about, like, or she feels like she can talk about more with Frank and not with Daredevil, is kind of what she was saying.
Yeah, but like you could always, that I don't think that necessarily means that you're right romantically or as a life partnership with that person.
Yeah. I never really saw the Punisher series, but I know she was like a big part of that, and that they kind of had maybe a fling in that. So I could be wrong. Like, don't quote me on it, but that's kind of what I heard.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I guess I need to watch Punisher season 1 and 2 to figure all that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, I think, you know, what ends up happening with, you know, this police state, like zero vigilantes in New York City. Who knows where this is in the timeline of things? That'll be something that'll be interesting to figure out. Yeah,
because like technically Thunderbolts should be in a police state now. You know, like because they're in New York. And
but that's if it's like before this happens or so. I don't know.
I mean, logically it should be before, but we'll see. Yeah. They might not even acknowledge it. So
probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But that would be cool if they were like Mayor Fist today, you know.
I would love that. Yeah. Like just like how, you know, Bucky was like running for congressman in the new Captain America movie. And now he'll be like a congressman in Thunderbolts. I think like let's have some through lines, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is like big implications. And I do like this like Devil's Reign story that they're going with, or at least it feels like it. Matt, on the other hand, like talking about like building this army, it could be cool, but
the army that was there at the end was a little underwhelming. I'll say
it was very underwhelming.
Let's just get Cherry, Kim, the Asian cop, and Josie. Yeah, Josie. That's pretty much it. That's the 3 main people they had.
Yeah, because like, can you imagine how big of a reaction it would have been if like he was surrounded by Luke Cage, you know, like Jessica Jones?
I think that's where they're going with it in season 2. Like he'll be rounding them up, and like Karen took care of like the normal people, and now he's gonna go get the the actual superpowered
Right, because
individuals.
like you do need the like you do
people on the
need
ground, right?
civilians and like
Yeah,
like you
for sure.
need people in these different, like in the police force, in the
Mhm.
whatever, but it was it was very underwhelming,
Yeah. So like I think I would love to obviously see the Defenders plus Punisher.
with a new Iron Fist potentially.
I keep Danny Rand. Honestly,
Nah,
like
nah.
look, the show wasn't good. The actor I didn't have a problem with though. Um, so I would keep Danny Rand. I wouldn't want. Why would you want to recast Danny? Like I think you're keeping everything the same from the Netflix universe. Keep Danny too. But I would also
Eh.
I'd love to see maybe the new White Tiger.
She's
His
she's
niece.
like she's a teenager, isn't she?
She's sure, but so was Spider-Man. Like
But she
she could get the amulet.
I guess.
Like
I guess,
I
but
think I
like
think that
it's
would be a full arc, like because that was one of the bright spots of the season was episode 3 with White Tiger. Not saying that she was amazing at all, but like I don't know, some kind of through line there too. Um, I definitely wouldn't. I mean, obviously we all want Spider-Man because he's in New York fucking city. Like where the hell is he?
I don't
Um,
think they're I would
well,
be
they
I would
legally can't right now. Like I don't know if you've heard, but Sony won't like. Basically, Disney doesn't have the rights to put Spider-Man in any TV show. So
right, okay.
yeah, so he's kind of just wrapped up in the movies
I
without.
do think that we could see a Kamala Khan though.
It wouldn't fit the vibe of the show, unfortunately. The way
She
it is now, I don't know. Like, yeah,
I mean,
like episode
but
5, sure, but
well, I mean, they had there will definitely be a Kamala Khan, I think, because like
yeah.
he's gonna have dinner with the Khans.
What is? I mean, yeah, like at some point,
Yeah,
I don't.
we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it.
I would be shocked if she's in season 2. I would. I think they're going like you know how episode 5 with the bank robbery was like it's just tone wise so different from like episode 8 and 9 of this season.
Yeah.
I think she exists tone wise in episode 5, and season 2 is like going off of episode 8 and 9 tone wise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like to me, it's a clash of tones, but
Well,
I don't know.
anyways, overall, just to like get close to finishing this out.
Yeah,
Overall, I thought it was I enjoyed watching this season. It's not better than, in my opinion, it's not better than a season of the Netflix show.
Not a chance. No.
It had some really great moments, some real, like when it was um when it was focusing on characters and their conversations with each other and dialogue, like usually that's when it was at its best. When it went into more of the like superhero aspects of it, it's probably where it was at its worst. There was clashes in tone, like there were a lot of inconsistency in powers.
Sure.
So like it had its ups and downs, but I feel excited for season 2 because I like where things are headed.
Yeah.
For the most part. And I think that they kept a lot of stuff in this season that was left over, and it probably has a bit of that, like we don't have things figured out exactly how we want it. And I feel like getting closer to the end, it felt more like that's where this show really wanted to be at.
Season 2 will be
it'll be darker.
It'll be darker, and it'll be like a more cohesive story because it's one team working on it with a complete vision, right? What we know is that episodes 2 through 7 was the original team. They filmed the new episode 1, reshot some scenes, they reshot all of Vanessa's scenes throughout the show, and then did their own episode 8 and 9. So yeah, it's definitely was disjointed a lot this season. I don't think I have really anything nice to say about like episodes 4 through 7. And I definitely hated the direction of killing Foggy and writing off Karen in the beginning, but unfortunately they weren't able to like write, something new, so that didn't happen.
I feel like God, I forgot. Sorry, I that had something and then I was gonna. Anyways, go on.
I'll
What
go.
were you
Yeah,
gonna say?
so I think shoot now.
Shit.
It's fine. Like I think though, episode 8 and 9 obviously was amazing. I think it left off on a great point. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing like the new suit next season with the DD logo.
Right.
And I'm very happy. Honestly, I'm glad they didn't go like, let's bring Foggy back by him faking his death. I'm happy
I would have hated that.
Right, I would have hated that too. I think like let's just stick with it after you did it, and I'm glad it's like a serious thing that like Matt has kind of regrouped his focus on. I think the new writers did as best as they could with the season. So
yeah, and I remember what I was gonna say. I hope that this is like a Doctor Who season 1 situation, like after it got restarted in the 21st century. I forget when the movie came out, or like an Office season 1 sort of thing where it's like, look, season 1's not like the
we didn't
best,
have the vision yet,
but like it really got it going on like season 2 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I kind of hope it's like that, even though I wouldn't put this in that category necessarily, like in my point of view. Like I think it's a step above like a mediocre to bad season. Like I would say it's a good season. Like for me personally, I wouldn't say it's like a great season, but I would say it's a good season. I enjoy. I kept wanting to come back to it. I wasn't like dreading, watching it or anything. I
think it's an okay season for me. I think there are multiple Disney Plus like Marvel shows that are better than this.
Multiple. I could say WandaVision, and I could say.
I'd say 3 are better than this right now, which are WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki. I think those are all better than what we saw this season. They have complete visions and I don't know. None of them pissed me off as bad as Daredevil did this season.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch this over Captain America, like Falcon Winter Soldier, for sure.
It's my favorite one, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
okay, though.
But that's our
review. Yeah. So we are now going to talk about the Fantastic Four trailer, which dropped today. Like you said earlier, this is the footage that we all kind of read about from CinemaCon. And we got a full like 2-minute, 50-second trailer, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a lot longer than I was anticipating.
Yeah. But obviously the highlights, there's some big highlights from this. We get our first look at Shala Hal. I can't remember her name.
I think it's Shala Bal. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is the new woman Silver Surfer that Julia Garner is playing.
Right.
And honestly, what's weird is that I heard some opinions that like didn't like the look. I personally think she looks great.
I need like more of a high def image to come out, because
like it's
everything that's out right now it has a little bit of like compression to it, where it's kind of like not even distorting, but it's just not like the amazing.
I did see a 4K image of it.
Okay. Yeah. But besides that,
like it's not.
It's a Silver Surfer. It looks like she looks like a Silver Surfer. I think it looks good.
I think like she to me she looks metal and shiny. She doesn't look like it's more of like a different feel and look than like what we got in 2007 or whatever. Like that Silver Surfer was like insanely reflective and like just had a crazy kind of look to him.
I love that.
And it's a great look. I do. Excuse me. But like, I don't mind them going a different direction. I still think this looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot more like Jack Kirby, like old 1960s comics, like for sure. Like it has a lot more like reflection, shiny, bold, bright sort of thing. So I think she looks good.
Like that's everything Matt Shakeman was like. I was reading an interview with him today, and he was like, I tried to do everything like how Kubrick would have done it in the 60s. Like I use like practical sets and miniatures, and I use like vintage lenses. And
I was gonna say like regarding the vintage lenses, like it looks, everything about the movie looks like it's a space race 1960s movie.
That's what he was going for.
And when you look at, I think part of the reason why things kind of look, at least on my phone for a bit of it, like it has a bit of that distortion or graininess compared to like the side by side to like the old Silver Surfer. Is because it's literally like that has the grain, maybe from the most lens, likely from the lens. It has that grain that's giving it that 1960s sort of feel, or look. So that also is playing into it. But I imagine that watching that on an IMAX screen is going to look great.
Absolutely it will. The other thing I was like so shocked that we got to see was Mr. Fantastic's powers. We finally got to see him stretch.
Yeah, and it looked good.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be a hard thing to like not make it look goofy. But like that is the thing. It's like I think that's why they're leaning into it being a bit more bright and kind of it's got this playful thing about it being like this 1960s like not naive sort of like everything's kind of like heightened and fun about it, because it's kind of hard to have these like stretchy powers and guy made out of a rock without it being like kind of
fun, right?
Kind of goofy or like weird, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that's so great about Reed is like his intellect,
right? Which kind of balances it out. Yeah.
Which is that'll hopefully balance things out.
I was actually really worried for a while because there was so many like clips and trailers that we were getting, and like none of them were showing his powers, but everyone else was getting their powers, and I was like, what's going on here? Are they worried about how this looks? So no, it was a nice little boost of confidence for the movie. No, but it was cool to see like in this trailer, Silver Surfer come down and be like, your world is marked for death or execution. And Human Torch dove and flew after her. And then we get to see Galactus like on Earth stomping around. And it was a cool trailer. It didn't show a ton, but it was like, it showed enough,
It did. I was, like I've been saying, I am still very excited for this trailer or for this movie. But there is something that stops me from like being like, I can't wait.
Really?
Where like how I feel about like Thunderbolts is like, I cannot wait to watch this movie. Like I am so excited. I think this is going to be a great movie. And I still think that like Fantastic Four could be a great movie, and hopefully it will be. And there's a lot of excitement for it. And I love Matt Shackman, and I'm really digging the this being a different timeline universe sort of thing. There's just something that's kind of still stopping me. I still think it looks great. I'm waiting for that moment to be like, okay, boom, this is, you're gonna love it, and maybe I will enjoy it and like it, and I just won't ever get there. I don't know. Hopefully, I'll love it. I mean, the first trailer I really did love. You know, so
how could you not?
I mean, this one's good too. I'm just like, I don't know. I think I just got to watch the movie. I did like the poster that we got attached with this today. it kind of it was given like a a mid 2000s like comedy vibe to it a little bit.
Did I
It was
actually
like
see it?
it's like Meet the Family, you know. It's like they're all on the couch and they got their weird quirk about them. Like
Maybe I didn't see it.
it was given like a Meet the Fockers sort of like situation.
Okay.
You haven't seen it?
I guess I didn't.
They're all on the couch.
Oh yeah, okay, I saw it. No, yeah, that looks good. I love the cityscape in the back and all their outfits and Herbie.
Yeah, it looks great. It like it has a little bit of that Guardians of the Galaxy. Like we're not just doing like headshots and like we're gonna have all the characters like
right. There's actual like personality here.
Yeah, there's personality being displayed. But I do feel like it's like Meet the Family. This is the Fantastic Four, you know?
Right.
Like I don't know. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm excited. I think I was really happy with the Thing CGI, the first trailer around.
Well, you weren't happy this time.
I'm not saying that I'm not happy. It's just at times it feels a little weird. Hopefully I won't feel that way when I like watch the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it didn't look like completely realistic, but it's hard to do that with like a big old rock man, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's giving kind of like Korg vibes.
Sure, I could see that. Yeah.
From like Thor Ragnarok.
Korg didn't look bad either, but yeah, it wasn't like incredible, you know?
Yeah.
I could see what you mean. No, but yeah, I think the trailer looked great, and I think that's the last one before the movie comes out, I think.
No way.
I thought I saw somewhere it said final trailer. Maybe that
it was Thunderbolt's final trailer.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Which was great.
It was good.
That might be the best trailer they've done so far.
Yeah, and I didn't even watch all of it. So.
It was good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a Fantastic Four trailer. Last a little bit of Marvel news we want to talk about is the leaked well, it's I don't know if you know the context behind it, but this was like the birthday invite to his like birthday party, like Robert Downey Jr.'s. And so this birthday invite features him in a Doctor Doom like outfit with a mask and hair that's much different than I think any of us really thought Doctor Doom would or Robert Downey Jr. would have. I can't say I love this outfit.
We are talking about the one where like he's standing behind the white background that's curved, like he's at a photo shoot.
No, I thought we were talking about something else.
No, this is the one I have pulled up.
I haven't even seen this one.
Oh, geez, you haven't seen this one?
You gotta show me that because I'm only thinking of the birthday invite.
All right, hold on. Let me send this to you. So while I'm sending this over to Ian, I know what Ian's talking about. There's an image that came out. I guess I can't do that.
It came out like 11 days ago,
and his hair was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about. No, this is a different image that came out. And basically, you have Robert Downey Jr. and it looks like he's on a photo shoot that they would do for like images that you'd put on posters and merchandise material and toys and all this. And basically, he's in this suit that kind of looks like it's got like an arc reactor in the chest. Or some sort of indentation, and he's got.
Doesn't even look like him though, you know.
I don't know. It looks like it looks like him to me.
His face.
And
maybe this looks more like Sean Connery.
I don't know. It looks like Robert Downey Jr. and he's got a like a white beard and this long gray hair with a cape. No like traditional chains or anything like across the front like you would think of Doctor Doom. But to me, if this image is real, which I feel like it might be, because I cannot imagine, like I can't think of somebody being like, okay, I'm going to make this fake image of Robert Downey Jr. where like the background of it is that he's doing a photo shoot that they like with the same rounded paper so that there's no shadows or like hard lines.
Right.
And it's gonna set the internet or like fans like ablaze. I think this might be him before he's like Doctor Doom. I think this is like him before like anything like horrible potentially happens to him. And I would not be surprised if we see him. I know they said there was no like cameos or anything in Fantastic Four, but I'm wondering if like this comes out and is a part of like a toy line, when Fantastic Four, hits theaters.
I will say the outfit is very underwhelming.
I think it's before he's Doom.
I hope that's the case because, I mean, and I don't know. I feel like if like this version to me couldn't be in like the Fantastic Four because like you're saying, like it's not Doom, like I think if they were to have Doom in there, he's got to be full on with the outfit and calling himself Victor Von Doom, right? And
not necessarily.
Well, like if he's saying there's no cameos, then that wouldn't be a cameo to me, like having a full on Doctor Doom. But if we're just saying, oh, this is Iron Man, and just an older Iron Man in a different timeline, I think that's a cameo.
I don't know. But do you think this image is real?
I think it is.
And so like even though maybe it's not like the design I would have wanted just for like starting out, if this is like pre-Doom, or maybe it's Doom when he puts the mask on and he puts the hood on, like it'll look more Doom. I still think that just because maybe I'm in love with the design doesn't mean that like the performance won't be like, wow, that was amazing. Like
sure.
Love it. Like it could make up for it. And I still think it looks like a decent design. Like I don't think it's terrible.
It's not bad. I mean, especially if this is, like if this is still Tony Stark, then that makes complete sense,
Right.
And I do think this is a lot better than the birthday invitation image that we got.
Yes.
Where he's just in a green jumpsuit and a gold mask with some crazy hair.
Yes.
This is better.
This is much better than that image.
Yeah.
If this is not there still is a chance that this is fake.
Right.
But the fact that he's taking these images with his like mask off, there's no Doom mask, leads me to believe that this is going to be used as some sort of promotional image for something like merchandise or something in coming up. Right. And then we will get the Doom images after that, because maybe all through Doomsday, he looks like this up until a point, and then he becomes Doom. Like maybe this is but yeah, it is interesting. He's got like this like regalia, like he's got that collar going on. Like he seems very regal, which
I would be surprised if they like make him Doom right before Secret Wars. Like that doesn't feel right to me either.
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Maybe it's like they would be going back in a time that's like not the present day, and that's like what he looked like before Doomsday started.
Or this is just how he's gonna look, and he'll put the mask on sometimes.
That would not be great. That would not.
Why?
Be great.
He might be super menacing and like intimidating even without it.
I think what I would want genuinely, and I know it's not going to happen, but I want him in the mask like 90% of the time. I would like him to have a bit of a deformity on his face, so there's a reason for the mask.
Yeah, that would be preferred.
Right. But this version's okay. It's not blowing me out of the water, but it makes sense for like like the next step of Iron Man to Doctor Doom, you know?
I think the thing is, I would like a deformity, but if you get somebody like Robert Downey Jr.,
yeah, you want to show their face.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And especially with you're paying him like $100 million for this movie. So, yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's real. So we'll see.
I think there's a good chance it's real. But
We'll see.
I hope we get another version as well.
I'm sure we will.
I hope so. But yeah, I think that's our thoughts on Doctor Doom. But yeah, next I think we want to talk about a trailer for a movie series that I really like in Tron. I can't say I've ever been positive about this iteration of the third Tron movie, Tron Ares. First time I heard about it was like that. Basically, the context here is they were trying to make a sequel to Tron Legacy up until 2017, and then Disney was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go a different direction." And so then they hired Jared Leto, and he's kind of like the full driving force in this movie. He's a big fan of Tron, apparently. He's going to be the antagonist of this movie. And I think what's such a like the trailer doesn't show a lot, but it confirms a couple of things that they're like it's very much a reboot and like a sequel reboot in a sense. You know, like there's really not much acknowledgement of the last movie, like character wise or plot wise.
I felt like I heard Jeff Bridges' voice.
Yeah, at the end, you hear him say, "You ready?" Because there's no going back, and that that pisses me off because both him, like both the original like Flynn and his like cloned video game Tron self Clue died at the end of the last movie. Like they're dead, and so like. What's going on there? You know, like couldn't we just have left those characters in the past and maybe done something new? But it seems it kind of implies in the trailer that he's talking to like Jared Leto's antagonist character,
right?
So maybe it's Clue, and because Clue is the villain of that movie in Tron Legacy, so maybe he's the one who somehow survived and is trying to, because that was his goal. Like Clue's goal was to get him and his army to the outside world and create some shit and havoc there, right? Or take over, whatever we wanted to do. And so this is in a way following that plot, just with a completely different character. But the trailer wise, I think visually it looks great. Like I thought it was cool that they kind of started off on this like city like grid that kind of like mimicked what Tron was, and then that you see like them cut the cop car in half. I mean, like a lot of really great, like the big, I don't know what that thing is called, but like the big
ship,
the ship, and then you had like like a jet almost that was like
right, yeah,
fucking shit up, and so yeah, I mean, like it was cool. It just didn't show a lot plot wise. It was just kind of a visual trailer in a sense, but from what I know about the movie, they're not bringing back the major players that would logically be a part of this move, like this conflict, right? Like Sam Flynn's son escaped, Tron, like at the end of the last movie with one of the people like that were created within Tron. So like she got out. She was this person that was like a being called the ISOs, and yeah, I can't remember exactly, but like Flynn was like, yeah, these were created organically in here, and they could solve a lot of our problems in the outside world, like medically and all that shit. And so like, where's she at? She's in the outside world. What, like, wouldn't Sam have some, like, he's the head, him and Alan are the head of like Incom, which is like in control of Tron. So like where are these people that are so important to the last two movies? Because I know they're not in the cast list, and I know they're not in this trailer. So it's it just feels so disjointed to me. Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Visually though, it works. I'm just I'm a bit bummed, and that Flynn talking at the end really pissed me off. So
Yeah.
I love Jeff Bridges, but
The visually, yeah. I mean, I was pretty impressed with how it looked.
yeah.
Story wise, I mean, I've never really cared about either Tron movie,
Yeah,
so I don't really care. But I respect, just like with anything that I like, I want the world to be like treated, you know, logically, respectfully. Like it shouldn't just completely like start to not add up for the other people who enjoy the franchise, I guess. So I mean, like, yeah, when you talk about it, it's like, oh, that's kind of annoying. I don't have any idea of what this movie is about other than these AIs, these like Tron beings going into the real world. And like that's an interesting idea, but also but at the same time, like that doesn't I know it's just like a first trailer, but I need to know more
story wise,
because it's like, okay, so the beings get out into the real world, which is like a story, like a thing that happens in so many different movies. Like, oh my God, the blah, blah, blah got into the blah, blah, blah. You know, and it's like, okay, then what? Like, what is the goal?
Yeah.
You know?
So I will say, like, the synopsis right now that's online is that the movie follows a highly sophisticated program named Ares, who was sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission, marking humankind's first encounter with AI beings. So yeah, I mean, you're not getting much more than what you just kind of described there, except he's on a mission. But didn't I think in the trailer, Jared Leto even's like, I don't understand my mission here, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I like, is Ares the antagonist? Like, is he the protagonist? I can't really tell. I mean, I would assume he's the antagonist since he's attacking the real world. But like, who's the main character then?
I have no idea.
Yeah, right. They've really given us nothing with this first trailer besides vibes and visuals, and then Jeff Bridges at the end. So, yeah, I guess I'll wait for the next one, but I can't say I'm excited at the moment. It's a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you might feel a little more positive since you don't care about the other movies,
I was like, oh, that looked like visually stunning.
Yeah.
Like visually I was impressed, but besides that, I'm like, okay, I still don't know anything about this.
Oh, and then they revealed, I don't know, maybe this was announced beforehand, but like 9 Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack for this.
Oh God, that is exciting though.
Sure, but it's a way different vibe than like Daft Punk. I mean,
well, but come on, Ian. Trent Reznor is an incredible. He makes great music. I would love to get some. I mean,
like the 9 Inch Nails is rock, isn't it? I mean,
no. Well, I mean, yes and no.
Yes, right.
Well,
I mean,
but
it's just a different vibe. I'm not saying 9 Inch Nails is bad. I'm just saying like
Daft Punk comes out of like the French house music, like dance scene, but that Tron soundtrack was different than what they had done before.
Sure,
9 Inch Nails doing like computer industrial rock music, like synth music. I mean, like, I don't know. I would say
we'll see.
9 Inch Nails can make a banger.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, maybe you gave me a little more hope, but
if you've listened to Trent Reznor's like synth music, it's great.
Okay. I didn't know they made synth, so I'll.
He's done a lot of stuff in like soundtracks.
Okay. Well, I mean, I will say like the end song did sound good in the trailer. Kind of reminded me of Cyberpunk, so that's not a bad vibe for this movie.
Yeah, I would say you probably get a little bit closer to Cyberpunk with a
little more hectic
their production. Yeah.
Just that soundtrack of the last movie just was so good, man. It just like complemented the movie so well. I would love them to bring back Daft Punk, but
Well, they're
whatever.
retired.
Hey, well, come out of retirement, boys. Like, what are we doing? This is
They're
Tron.
done making music.
Well, whatever. But yeah, that's Tron. It's coming out October 10th this year, so we're definitely getting more trailers. We got 6 months. So I wish this was directed by Joseph Kosinski. He made the Tron Legacy, but it's directed by Joaquin Running. Sorry if I butchered that name. He's done the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean, the 2nd Maleficent, and then it's written by Jack Thorne, who just created Adolescence. So maybe it's a good written story, because I heard Adolescence is really good.
I heard Adolescence is really good. I can't say that the 5th and 2nd Maleficent and Pirates of the Caribbean movies make me exactly that excited.
No, I mean, I heard like he did Young Woman in the Sea too, and I heard that was pretty good. I don't know.
It seems like he's a Disney in-house director.
Oh, you're right. He definitely is a Disney in-house director. Well, that's a shame, but I don't know. We'll see. I won't judge it. I mean, I did just judge it really harshly.
You did.
But I will stop judging it super harshly until I see it. So yeah, that's Tron. But yeah, and then we also got some interesting, not confirmed news, but just news that Robert Pattinson is in talks to play a character in Dune Messiah, or Dune Part 3. And that character is Scytale. And now you've been reading Dune Messiah.
I have been.
And you got some insights for us, I think.
Yeah, so Scytale is one of the conspirators in the book who, this isn't really spoiling anything. The basic premise is a conspiracy to, one way or another, get Paul off the throne.
Right.
And so in a way, he's like the lead conspirator from everything that I've read so far. And he is known as a face dancer, which pretty much means that he can change his face or his entire body into whatever character, whatever person that he would like.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Robert Pattinson, love Robert Pattinson. I feel like would be a great addition to Dune. I think that after watching things like his voice acting in The Boy and the Heron, just seeing the trailers for Mickey 17, even though I haven't watched it yet and I want to,
He's great. Yeah.
Or Batman, or what is it? Good Day, or
Good Times.
Good Times.
That's a great one.
Or his work, even though I hated the movie Devil All the Time, he was he can do these wildly different performances.
He can shine in any movie. Yeah.
So it leads me to believe that if they are doing this character and he does take this role, that potentially they could figure out something where he's doing heavy prosthetics to change his appearance, because I don't know how else you would do this role other than he transforms into somebody. That character has these conversations, and then he goes back to being his normal Robert Pattinson Scytale self in other ways. It's just, it would just be, to me, it'd be a little less interesting if it's a different actor, because all those times you're interacting with different characters as somebody else that you're not.
Yeah, no, I think with the way he shape shifts, I think he has to have, to your point, a form that he majority of the time uses, so we have so we can identify the character, right? But I just don't know how you could convincingly like let's say you see a character earlier in the movie, right? And then like later on it's Scytale, but as that character, like if it's still Robert Pattinson, how could you put like enough makeup and like prosthetics on him and voice wise for it to work?
Well, I would say that he so far, despite one part in the book, he never is portraying somebody that you know.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's just picking different
personas, right?
Yeah, like he's for lack of a better analogy, like he's like Dana Carvey, master of disguise. You know, like these aren't like, he's not trying so hard to be looking like Paul. Okay. He's just looking like whatever kind of character he wants to take the shape of that will play into like, whatever he's trying to get out of somebody.
From what I get, it's almost like he's created a lot of different personas that work for him in different kind of ways.
Right.
Okay. I like that. So that
like
that is
he chooses certain faces to let people show what they're thinking, or
then I think
have their perception of him change.
I think it's incredibly possible then that we actually do get him like in like prosthetics every single time he like changes, and so like you're actually getting like a different voice from him, you know, and not like a different actor.
Right. Or they just completely take the point, like they change it up inside, like a face dancer is something else. I don't know. I still like, I was telling Ian about how I don't think that, I think that if they, with this third installment, they have to divert from the books a large amount, because I don't think that there's enough story there to have audiences really engage with it the same way that they had previously. And it's a shorter book. It's a lot of scheming, a lot of plotting. I still think there's interesting things that they can go into, and I think it's a necessary direction to like ultimately end on, where I believe things are going to end. And I think it'll be tragic, but I feel like they have to change things a lot. So it'll be just interesting how they do this role. Now that I've read the book, it'll be interesting how they do other roles now that I've read the book. Like, I don't know how there's one character that we've seen before who's going to be portrayed in a very different way.
Okay. Well, I think we all know it's Jason Momoa's character, I would assume.
Well,
Duncan, Idaho, right? I heard he's coming back. I know that.
Oh, I mean, yes, that is the character.
I mean, Jason Momoa straight up said, like, yeah, I'm coming back in Dune 3, and if you haven't read the books, that's your fault. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
yeah, I mean, his character comes back, and that's a really interesting part of the book, but it's still like, I still don't know how necessarily, like, I don't know. I think Denis Villeneuve's just going to have to really dig and
go into his bag for this
and make these situations that occur a little bit more cinematic and exciting.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, but I think there are like you were I think you were saying to me that it was like Game of Thrones in a bit, where it's a lot of like slow scheming. But I think there are still amazing points in Game of Thrones where you're like, where it's not combat or like, but it's reached a climax story wise that is like super fulfilling.
Yeah,
maybe it doesn't work for a movie, but I don't know. I still think it works so many times for Game of Thrones.
And it does, but here's the thing: it works for Game of Thrones in a lot of different aspects, because the things that they're playing with is like, yes, to the throne and other like gains, right, but there's usually like some sort of like battle that's going to happen, or there's some sort of mission that's going to happen, or we're going to, you know, learn about this new thing. And my problem with the books so far is the first Dune was playing with like religion and different like the Bene Gesserit and the Harkonnens and like learning about the world and learning about Fremen and becoming a part of this culture or there's so many things on top that went into why like the scheming side of things and the deceit and like the betrayal and all that stuff that elevated it, whereas this book, although it is it still has a lot of entertaining stuff about it, it's not going into the things that made it interesting like it did before. If you know what I mean, like it's like plotting and plotting and plotting with nothing necessarily happening. If that makes sense. Like it's not like we're talking about, okay, we're gonna go do this thing and then the thing happens. Like it's, if that makes sense.
It's like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just like plotting for the future and nothing happening.
Like a lot of it's like, did he mean this or did he mean this?
Oh, and there's just there's not a lot of action being taken, is what you're.
There's like talks of things.
Wow, that's it's a bit rough. I'm sure he'll change some things up.
Yeah, I feel like you have to.
Yeah, because it sounds like one of the slowest books ever.
It's pretty slow. It's pretty slow.
All right. Well, I'm sure he's got a script together already. I'm sure he's figured it out. So
hopefully
he had a vision this whole time to do 3. So I think he's got it. He'll do a good job. But yeah, I'm curious how close he stays to the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's thoughts on Robert Pattinson playing Scytale and all other things Dune 3 related. But now we're going to go to our last review of the day in The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1, the premiere that came out Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say I think I said to you earlier that this was a slower episode than I anticipated. I think it definitely shows you like this. I think this is the pace we're kind of going to be on for the rest of the show.
I don't think it is.
I'm not saying there's going to be there's not going to be crazy things that happen, but I think in terms of pacing, I don't think they're going to they're not going to make leaps and bounds per episode. I think next episode will be crazy.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
doubt.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm getting is that I think they're going to do half of the second game in the season.
That's what I understand.
And then I think the second half in season 3. I know they said they were going to do 4 seasons, so I'm not really sure how that works.
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe I think this is a 3-season show, unless they put out Last of Us Part 3, the game, at some point.
Which I heard is unlikely.
Yeah, I heard so too. So, I don't know. But I did expect certain events to happen in episode 1 that I think they're saving for episode 2. But overall, I think it was a well-written first episode. It was cool to see the flashbacks with both Ellie and Abby. Where Abby's and her group are just grief-stricken, and they're like, we're the last of the Fireflies, basically, and we got to go find the rest of our group. And we got to kill Joel, and Ellie is, we see the same scene from last season where she's like, hey, just straight up, did you, are you telling the truth? And he's like, yeah, I swear. It's just like, okay, all right. Which is, I think, what we're led to believe is why there's so much strife with them this episode. That is the main theme is that they're the most disjointed or not on the same page father-daughter combo right now.
Yeah, they're estranged right now.
Yeah. But we get some cool new side characters. I think Dina's a really nice addition already.
Love Dina.
Yeah, I think Gail was a super interesting character.
Yes, she is. Yeah, I mean, I know you said it was slow, but to me, it's this from it. All I've heard is this is going to be even bigger in like things that happen, the drama's even bigger.
No doubt.
And this is like, we are, and by the end of the episode, with everything that's implied that's coming, we are like just about to reach this like insane inflection point of like things are about to go in a very different direction. And we kind of need to have this moment to like, it's been 5 years.
Settle back in.
Where is everybody? And it's those moments where you have like Joel going to therapy with Gail, and this amazing, dialogue between the two where she's just been drinking because it's her birthday, and she's like, I hate you because I know you had to kill my husband.
Which we don't even know the backstory there.
But which is great. And I love that I don't know it. Yeah. And like, if you want to tell me it later, that's fine. But I don't even need to know it.
Yeah, because you can just assume that he threatened Joel, he threatened somebody, and Joel had to like put him down,
Or he got infected.
Sure, that too. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought like, he got infected and she hates the fact that he had to kill him, even though like she knows that he had to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very real possibility. I didn't even think. It just felt like there wouldn't be much to be mad about if he was infected. Like, I
still feel like
I wouldn't hate the person who put down, like, let's say my wife got infected, and I mean, there's no cure. There's I mean, what are you gonna do? Let it live?
But like, we're not always logical creatures. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
If Ellie got infected, right, and somebody else killed her, which like, you don't think that Joel would be like, I know you had to do what you did, but I can't ever fucking look at you the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. Sure.
That's how I feel about it.
Sure, love is strong.
I love Dina and Ellie's relationship. I think like the scene at the New Year's Eve party
was really nice. Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah. What's so funny is that like when I was watching it, I was like, I remember, I think it was like E3 2018 or like 2017. And PlayStation had like one of the best presentations they ever did. And they had this presentation of Last of Us 2. And like, it started off in that like New Year's Eve scene. And I don't know, it was just like, it was cool to see like the parallel.
Right.
And I think they cast Dina really well. I think, she's not an exact 1-for-1, but none of the characters really are in this show.
And plus we got the scene where, she's out on patrol because she really wanted to be on patrol. Yeah. You see these clickers got in it with a grizzly, which is, I would love to see that fucking fight.
Yeah. That sense. I will say, it was a little annoying to see Dina and Ellie be so stupidly reckless.
Yeah, but it seems like they were like, we've been through here before, we've done it,
I just,
but it was reckless.
It felt so like childlessly reckless. Like, like we're young and we can't die, basically. Right. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine, right?
We get the scene where like the new, evolved
the new type of clicker, right?
And that's
that was neat. That was neat. Yeah.
Is that in the game?
So I never played the second game, so I don't know like the clickers like kind of story there and how they're evolving. I just know like the main plot points of the second game.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think it was cool to see like. Yeah, to your point, like this is the calm before the storm. So there's like two storms coming. One is the Fireflies are coming to Jackson, and then the other, we get a shot of like some, what are they called? Like the hydroceps or the whatever, like
cordyceps.
Cordyceps, yeah, like that's like coming through like from underneath to the town. It seems like.
Yeah.
So now you got like a threat underneath the town and a threat coming to the town, which is kind of horrifying.
Well. I don't think it's necessarily under the town. My what am I trying to say? My assessment of that scene was that tube the line, like the plumbing almost.
Yeah.
It was like plumbing or of some kind. It was going outside the
Something
city
like that. I couldn't tell
grab
really what it was.
to get a resource from somewhere else. And it seems like these roots had like the pipe had broken and it's like all covered in roots or whatever. And somehow the cordyceps are like,
well, they're invading Jackson regardless.
Yes, they're invading. I don't think it's from underground. I think it's like from outside.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, and then I will say like, and I think this was a complaint I had going in before I even saw an episode. Before season 2 was even announced, I was like, I'd love to see season 2, even though I'm not a huge fan of like the story of the game. But like I think I even said then they should wait 5 years because there is a 5-year gap in the game, and I think it would have really helped to see Ellie age a little bit. Whereas like, yes, she's acting a little older. Like I'll give her credit. There's points where like I'm buying it, but then there's points where like she just looks and sounds and acts the same, I think like, especially when she's like in her winter gear and you can't see any of like her long hair or tattoos or, like there's no signifiers there for me. And then like, she was like, like with Tommy at the very beginning, like she's like, I've been bit. Like she's like, I don't know. She just seems like 14-year-old Ellie again.
Yeah.
I think they need to find a better balance there. I don't think it's terrible, but it's taking me out a little bit.
It's not really bothering me.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not to the point like where other people are like trashing the actress and like the show for doing this.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of rough stuff online, but
well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there has. Like at one point I saw that like Daredevil's woke, and I was like, what are you fucking talking about?
Right. No, but I mean, other than that, I think it was a super interesting episode. You had a really great moment in that New Year's Eve kind of gala thing where, Joel just kind of goes protective mode with Ellie again, and she's having none of it. She's just like, she's done with Joel being this overprotective father figure. And I do really think I mean, obviously, I think it's boiled down to the fact that like she knows that Joel has hidden something awful from her. And I don't think it's like a normal 19-year-old girl being upset with her dad.
Right.
I think what's interesting is that from what I heard about the game, that moment where like Ellie comes home and Joel's like on the guitar on the porch, and she just doesn't like, she looks at him and just goes to the garage. I think in the game, she actually goes to talk to him, and she's like, are you ever going to tell me the truth? And he's like, if I did, would you even want to hear it? And then she walks off. Right. And I'm like, I wouldn't have minded that dialogue there. I think it would like, I think you're kind of driving it a little too on the nose, but I think it would have really worked, but overall, I think it was a good episode.
I feel like if you said that, there'd be less drama, because it's like, okay, now we both know that there's a secret, as opposed to like, there's not even an established like, well, but there hasn't been like even an acknowledgement that there's anything to be hidden yet.
Sure.
It's just like this feeling that they both have.
Sure. That's fair. But yeah, I definitely not disliking the first episode. Just a little slower than I thought, but still has the same vibe from the first season, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think the next episode's gonna be insane.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna blow the internet up, I think, for sure.
Really?
It could. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, no. I'm
so somebody's gonna die.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, so somebody's gonna die. All right.
But yeah, so that is our episode 1 review. I think going forward, we might be reviewing these outside of the podcast. So look for our clips on YouTube for that next episode review. But yeah, I think that is all the topics we had for today.
Yep.
So wasn't sure if you got to watch anything this past week or
Yeah.
so?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about Survivor. Been watching Survivor.
Survivor's great. I haven't watched the last episode.
I'm gonna go watch it after this.
Nice.
It'd be nice. I watched. Started the first season of White Lotus.
Okay.
It's at first I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty into it now. I'm pretty like it's a pretty insane, like ridiculous.
It's like kind of like anthology-ish. Like it's not
like every season's at like a new cast of characters.
Okay. I thought it was like every episode actually. But okay, cool.
No. It's funny. It's awesome. But it's insane. But it is like, from what I understand, it's like the guy who made the show, who was on Survivor, by the way, which is
no way. That's dope.
He was a contestant on Survivor.
Do you know his name?
Mike White.
That sounds really familiar.
Like at one point, like I saw a clip of him. He's like drinking wine and he's like, these fucking idiots, you know.
Oh
like,
my God, Mike White! Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, from what I understand, like these characters are meant to represent different kind of like caricatures, or like kind of extreme, but also at times not really, like just kind of like the flat, like face, like just that is what some people are like, right, kind of thing. And just watching it, you kind of like, oh my God, people are kind of like, I guess there are people in the world that are like this, and it's kind of insane.
So just crazy personalities.
Yeah, it's very good. It's really fun. And then I watched The Matrix again with my roommates.
Nice.
We watched it on VHS because one roommate has it on VHS, and I mean, I gotta say,
well, I feel like I'd rather watch that in 4K these days. But yeah,
yes. So like, I mean, I definitely still like the remastered sort of like
sure. The improved visuals,
right. But it was interesting watching it in VHS because
pure version, right?
Well, not exactly the pure, I would say.
Not like the original, I mean,
but it was interesting seeing it because it's almost like an artistic choice when you start viewing it that way. Like, because like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lean into the fact that like you can't see things that well. And like the whites are like completely just white and like overbearing on like certain characters and stuff, and it kind of gives like PlayStation 1 like cutscene vibes.
Interesting.
But it was great, and it also like cemented the fact that like even with all these like the lack of the visual quality of it being not as great as like seeing it in 4K, that it's still just as entertaining, just cements it as like one of the best movies of all time, you know?
I mean, I love The Matrix. It's great.
So like that movie just could, every single time I watch it, I'm just impressed by how thought-provoking and terrifying and creative and like how well it plays with your people's belief systems. And it's so good. It's really impressive.
Yeah. Kind of a shame the next 3 had to happen, but you know.
The thing is, like, after watching that, if you look at 2 and 3, like that, those are the logical steps.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah. Like,
I don't think it's a terrible trilogy, but I wouldn't like be dying to watch 2 and 3 again. You know?
Yeah. No, I hear. It's just like it obviously had to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that they weren't as interesting.
Yeah, they definitely weren't. And I think the conclusion of those movies bummed me out too, because we finally got to the end and it was like, yeah, we Neo and Trinity died, but this is a temporary peace, you know, and then the next one is going to come along and like maybe bring about permanent peace. Who knows? And I was like, what? A temporary peace? What? what are we doing? You know, like this is the end. I don't know. That bummed me out, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that all you got to watch?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you'd be happy to know I started Invincible season 3. I've already gotten 6 episodes through.
Oh, what a season.
What a season it's been, man. Like, holy, like the first highlight of the season to me was like the Cecil and Mark confrontations. And and like in that whole fight where like Cecil's using like the robots and like the thing in his ear, and then the Guardians of the Globe get into it and half the team leaves, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And and like, but then you have like this great romance arc with like him and Eve, which I've been dying to see since season 1. You have the development of Oliver, which has been great. So good to see him kill like the twins was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, what else? There's been great like one-off arcs too, like bringing back the mob boss guy who like manipulated him in season 1. That was cool.
Yeah.
What else? Him going to the future to kill Immortal was great. I love that episode.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the payback, like the payoff of that those two bank robbers who turned to like, they're like, okay, we're gonna stop robbing banks, and then it's like life just kept getting harder and harder, and they kept getting poorer and poorer.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for like, I'm sure that'll pay off at some point in like a future season.
It may be, because like I don't know if you noticed, when Duplicate's brother was trying to break out of prison, you did see one of, at least I saw one of them in the prison. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
I think they're going to show up later. Did you get to the
Powerplex episode? That's the last one. Yeah. That one was insane, man. Like him, like Mark confronting him at the end was like, I understood. It went awfully wrong.
Terrible.
So terribly wrong. I mean, a lot of stuff that Mark does goes pretty wrong, but that was rough. I mean, and I get it. I get where Powerplex was coming from. But man, he became a radical villain in a sense, and it did not pan out for his family, unfortunately. So yeah, that was a wild episode. I mean, great voice acting from
Aaron
Paul.
Paul,
yeah, he was great. No, the whole season's been amazing.
7 and 8 are gonna blow your mind though.
Yeah, because like I know like there's 3 things that are coming that I already know. And obviously I've been spoiling this show left and right, but like for people who have watched it, continue listening. But one, I know the Invincible War is coming, like the clones,
right?
And then I know Conquest is coming at the end,
right?
And unfortunately, and like they've been writing Rex so well this season that like it's almost obvious. But like I knew his death was coming this season.
But you don't know how, do you?
I don't know how. I don't. But I know he dies. And they've really turned him around since season 1. He's such a good guy, and like in his like relationship with
Shrink.
Yeah, she's great and he's great, and I'm happy they're together. But it's a bummer that
I will say like the way it happens is very well done.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say I'm happy for permanent death to come, because like there's been so many times in this show where like I thought a character was dead, and then they're like, nope, we're still alive, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, just wait until next episode.
Because like I would have really liked for Duplicate to stay dead. I think that was like a powerful death, Yeah,
it is kind of a bummer that like nobody died from that episode of the Serpent Society or the Lizard League.
Yeah, no one died. Everyone just got super fucked up.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I felt like that at that moment, like somebody should have died because like I was like,
yes,
that whole mission went so terribly wrong.
Oh, it's so amazing too. Like I don't know what it is, but like to see the good guys lose in this show is like so devastatingly powerful to see. Like it just, I don't know. It like just reality sinks back in that like, oh yeah, we can get like really fucked up out here and die. You know, which is why Shrink Ray is quitting the team. So yeah, it's been a great season. I'm very excited. I'm probably gonna watch those 2 episodes tonight, and we'll see how.
You gotta text me after you watch them.
We'll do. Yeah. No, but it's been a great season. I think that's all I've been watching. I think that and Avatar. I'm still been watching Avatar: Last Airbender on season 2 now, so that's been very nice to rewatch. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. And that is it for a podcast. As always, we'd like to thank you for watching and listening to this one. And if you want to listen to episodes in the future, we release weekly, and we'll be releasing clips of reviews soon for things we would like to review. If you want to follow us on social media and other audio platforms, those links are in the description below. And if you want to give us a like, a comment, a rating, a review, or subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it.
And until next time, and also when we put reviews out on YouTube, probably starting next week. We'll see you next time.